but nationally. Coach Grillick told our broadcast team, hey, we don't put a lot of worth in these preseason polls, but we certainly do keep the receipts.
All right, Bree, thank you very much. And the Red Raiders got out to a really good start last year, too, Brian. Won their first 11, but wheels came off near the end of the year.
Yeah, you know, for a program like this, too, they care about the conference opponents at their same level. Those other power conference teams within the conference, outside of the conference, that's the measuring stick. They want to be an NCAA tournament type program, so they want to keep improving at those things.
Teams trading misses, no score through 30 seconds of play on the hilltop. Jordan Merritt getting it over to the aforementioned Jasmine Shavers, driving to the hole, up and in, and a chance for one more.
Getting going early. That's not a great sign for SMU, but the ideal sign for Texas Tech. Here you see the ball screen, refuses behind her back, keeps the ball high, takes the contact in the midst of the trees. 3 other players from SMU, gets the hoop and the harm. And when you're coming home and you can get a shot like that to go in early, boy, do you start feeling even more relaxed in the game. You have so many jitters playing back in front of family and friends. That will get her going in this one.
Not only Shavers' family and friends, also this is a huge Texas Tech alumni base here in Dallas. Didn't get a reply from the Alumni Association, but it may be the biggest anywhere. Hitting, it's Z with her first bucket.
Yeah, a little matchup back and forth between the two guards we mentioned to start this game. The players to watch leading both their teams with the first bucket of the game.
See the starting 5 for the Red Raiders. It includes Jada Wynn. She had 23 against Houston last year. That's a career high. Driving in to get her first 2 of this ball game.
Yeah, space in the floor, great shot fake. Good job attacking off the bounce to get back-to-back layups for the Red Raiders.
Robertson losing the handle. Turnovers, a big reason why SMU feels like they have a good chance tonight. They're handling the ball so much better of late. Only 10 giveaways against Florida State.
Yeah, they're only averaging right at 14 a game, so definitely something that they've cleaned up a lot. Jones has a lot to do with that, leading the way. But this team as a whole has done a good job of not beating themselves.
Tech, on the other hand, had 23 turnovers against Stephen F. Austin, but still held on to beat the Lady Jacks by 10.
Great offensive rebound that time. They're going to need extra opportunities every time down.
Bailey Maupin getting the ball right back, shooting from distance, too strong. Board brought down by Kylie Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall coming off a career high just 2 games ago against Missouri. A big factor. If she can get going, it gives this team another powerful offensive weapon. Had 18 points in that game against Missouri.
Up top, to Chantae Embry off to the left, trying to pull down the offensive board, but it's a jump ball. It will stay with SMU.
Yeah, talking to Chantae Embry before the game, it's exciting for her to play against her former program. She went to Texas Tech prior to coming to SMU, and said it's great to see some of those great faces and some of those people who had an impact on me early in my career.
Played 28 games for the Lady Raiders back in the 21-22 season. Peterson gets it to go. Mustangs within 1.
I mean, what a breakout season Peterson has had. One of the top rebounders in the nation. Has been a double-double machine for SMU. Really is a big factor inside the paint. Showing zone here, a little 2-3 zone from SMU.
Lady Raiders working it around the arc. Whistle for Sarangbe Sonogo, who's shaken up down low. They'll call out the trainer to take a look. While we're waiting on that, we'll take a look at keys to the game from Coach Burton.
Yeah, well, it's important for Texas Tech to limit their turnovers because SMU is fueled off of those turnovers. But in the meantime, they want to have defensive takeaways because that fuels their offense with their press and their style of play. For SMU, they play great offensively against Florida State. They play great defensively against Missouri. They want to put together both sides of the ball for a full game, and then they must dominate the glass, an area they've done so well all year long. They will need that again tonight.
Miscommunication, trying to get it over to Shavers, but she was already moving towards the hoop. Turnover by Texas Tech. SMU played its ACC opener against Florida State, lost 93-85. Now a few more tune-ups in non-conference before getting into the meat of the Atlantic Coast Conference schedule. Seminoles came into that one the #1 scoring team in the nation and climbed to 9-2.
Yeah, interesting fact about this game, both these teams have already played Florida State. Texas Tech played them as well in a tournament earlier in the season, and Florida State beat both opponents.
Peterson falling away, and we'll have a couple of shots. That Lady Raiders meeting with the Seminoles came in the Paradise Jam down in St. Thomas USVI. The only loss of the year for Tech. Since then, Lady Raiders have won 3 straight. Rounded out their time at the Paradise Jam with wins over Gonzaga and Missouri State. Then came home last Tuesday to beat Stephen F. Austin, and they were winded. Coach Gerlich told us about that. Traveled all day to get back from the USVI. Had 1 day of rest before getting into game planning for the Lady Jacks.
Yeah, and SMU doing what they have done so well all season. Offensive rebound, one of the top offensive rebounding teams in the country.
Working inside, knocked away by Wynn, but Peterson, second chance. Whistle goes in favor of SMU. They'll have another opportunity inbounding from their own hoop.
Yeah, just a workhorse front line, especially their forwards and their bigs have done such a good job of just earning extra possessions.
Wide open, all alone, and knocking it down. It's Marshall.
Yeah, big shot for her to go in. Hasn't played as well at home as she has on the road, but coming off, again, one of those recent career highs against Missouri. Big shot there.
From behind, it's Peterson putting that ball out of bounds.
So important as a shooter, seeing that first shot go in, and here you see the defense on the other end. Again, we talk so much about Peterson and her ability to rebound and get extra effort, possessions, and also that double-double, but she's also been a rim protector in the paint.
Texas Tech trying to end a scoring drought that's lasted 2.5 minutes. Wynn unable to do so. Off of the Red Raiders. And TK Pitts will inbound. 6 points for her in SMU's game against Florida State. Now here's Peterson driving baseline. Rebound brought down by Merritt. She's from Plano, another Dallas-Fort Worth product. And she gets the ball right back and walks with it.
Yeah, Dallas-Fort Worth, a big area for recruiting for the entire country, if we're being honest. Some of the best talent in college basketball comes from the Metroplex, but for Texas Tech, a big proximity recruiting place for them as well. So not only is there players on the floor, but I'm sure there's some players in the stands that are getting recruited by both these teams.
8-5, SMU, 5.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. From the hilltop, Marshall with a nice step move, brought down by Peterson. No good. But SMU wipes it away. Pitts again.
Yeah, just a blue-collar, relentless team. Unafraid to lay it on the line. They know what their identity is. I think that's the biggest thing that's been a growth of this program under Coach Toya Wilson. This team knows their roles, they know their identity, and they're just getting better with every single game. Their last two opponents have been power conference opponents, one of those being an ACC game, so they were ready and had this one circled to get an opponent at home.
Marshall spots up, short, Embry there for the board. Missing. It'll stay on the floor with the foul call. SMU already has 11 rebounds. We're not even 5 minutes deep.
Yeah, and they're in a 6-0 scoring run, 8 offensive rebounds of their 9 misses. They've missed 9 times. They've rebounded 8 of those 9. I'm pretty sure that's a pretty high percentage, Chris. I don't know about you.
And considering that, they like more than a 3-point lead with as many second chance opportunities as they've had. But still 2.5 minutes. They've held the Lady Raiders off the scoreboard.
Now the view is, can they get one of these field goals to go as you earn all these second chances?
Peterson trying to find an open teammate. Back to Embry and on to Marshall. Marshall, 5 seconds left on the shot clock, gives it away. Texas Tech driving down, left hand falling down. It's Shavers.
Former teammates getting a chance. Great job in transition. That's what Texas Tech feeds off of. We talked about the takeaways being a key. That was a takeaway right there that led to easy transition points.
The mop and steal leading to the bucket by Shavers. And Texas Tech is within one. Z up top, all alone. It's Marshall. Peterson fighting for that board. Another jump ball. This time, Lady Raiders possession leads us to our first break in Dallas. SMU with a 1-point advantage on the hilltop. The latest two coming from the away team.
And Brian, it seems like she's done a pretty good job so far.
Yeah, and Bree, one of the most interesting parts of that conversation with Coach Gerlich, when she was at West Texas A&M, she was comfortable. She was happy. She could have stayed there forever. They may have built a statue for her in front of the arena when her time was done, but decided she wanted to keep climbing and rebuild the UTA program and eventually get back to Lubbock.
Yeah, just what an awesome story. What a great player, as Bree mentioned, and she is doing the job. Back-to-back winning seasons. They're looking to take the next step, but she's doing it with character. She's figuring out how to rebuild this program to a different, respectable level, and now they're ready to take the next step, getting ready for Big 12 play.
Embry, quick feed in to Jones. Off of her, it's Lady Raider basketball.
Yeah, big thing for last year's team. They kind of ran out of gas in conference play, ran out of depth, had some unfortunate injuries. They feel like one of the biggest improvements to this year's team is the depth of the squad. They have about 12 players they trust in the rotation with their style of play, and they have a big buy-in, 8 returners that have come back, along with 6 key additions, and this team is already off to a good start.
Giving the ball away there. Checking the turnover battle. Both teams now with 3. SMU with a 1-point advantage. Can't add to it.
Well, the interesting part for SMU, Coach has set Naya early in this game, Robertson, so not exactly sure what it was. Maybe it was something about a game plan, but SMU, their leading scorer, has been off the floor majority of this first quarter.
She'll re-enter here alongside Denavia Hall. A couple of substitutions for the Lady Raiders as well, including Danae Fritz coming in for the first time.
Yeah, and as much as we've talked about Texas Tech offensively and with their press, their half-court defense has done the job so far, has kept SMU from scoring the last almost 4 minutes, Chris. And although they've gotten a bunch of offensive rebounds, it's because they've been forced to miss. Now Texas Tech, in the last few possessions, have gotten a stop and only 1 shot at the basket.
10 on the shot clock, knocked free. SMU unable to retain possession. And that drought grows longer.
Yeah, good deflection that time. Got a good post entry, but again, talking to the Texas Tech staff before the game, they said we feel confident in our half-court defense that we've shown so far. So if we have to defend in the half-court, minus the rebounding, they were concerned about that.
Another quick release from Blacklock, off the mark on both of her tries so far. Pitts will head to the free throw line and end the scoring drought there after nearly 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, kind of faked a handoff there, kept it herself, and draws the contact. She was the first player to the floor today before the game. As a person on the sideline, you get to watch those type of things. TK Pritz getting ready.
There's Toyelle Wilson, 4th-year head coach for the Mustangs. First 2 years brought the ponies to the women's NIT. Previously on staff at Michigan and Baylor, also the head coach at Prairie View. Her offseason message was really simple to this team. There is opportunity in Dallas, and it is up to these student athletes to seize it.
Yes, and she's a player, or excuse me, a former player who played Division I and was a defensive player of the year herself. But as a coach, she's coached at the power conference level, at the highest level at Baylor, was on a national championship team as a coach, and then also at Michigan had great success. So she is leading this program from that experience.
Bristow tickling the twine, ending A 2.5-minute scoring drought for the Lady Raiders.
Yeah, Lady Raiders love to put up a lot of threes. It's going to be a big part of the game plan for them. And that's how they get their offensive rebounds from those long misses.
And Pitts finally gets SMU back on the scoreboard. No field goals for 5 minutes before that one. SMU retakes the lead by 1. Lady Raiders can't match it as Sanogo is denied.
Yeah, Mustangs want to run when they have opportunities.
Mustangs 11, Lady Raiders 10. Coming up on a minute left in quarter number 1.
Yeah, we talked about this before the game. 2 evenly matched teams. They do it in different ways. They're both getting power conference. One representing the Big 12, one representing the ACC now, and you can tell the urgency from both sides of how much this game means.
Z Jones now has more opportunities to get shots up here at SMU. Didn't have those at Nova, thriving in Big D.
Yeah, I loved my conversation with her before the game. She said, it's really the mental for me now. Physically, I prepared my whole career, and I'm still physically preparing, but now the mental preparation. I'm putting more time into that, and that's what she credits, not only that, and this coaching staff helping her feel so comfortable for her back-to-back career highs.
13-10 the score in favor of the Mustangs. Pitts trying to get it away from Sanogo. Picks up and underneath the hoop. Now a chance for SMU with the shot clock turned off.
We're going to hold for 1. I would imagine something with a high ball screen, let Jones create and create for herself or a teammate.
Jones setting things up. 4 seconds now. 2. Need to get a shot up. Peterson does not get it off in time. All the way back to 2006 to find a Mustang win.
Yeah, I think the Mustangs definitely don't care about that, but I think they are on a mission to right that ship, if you will, from their part. All they care about is 1-0 for this year.
Yeah, for her part, every time I brought up any kind of series history to Coach Wilson, it's been, doesn't matter, new team every year, fun for the fans, but we do not care.
Yep.
The key stat in that opening quarter, rebounds. SMU 16-7 advantage. Hitting from the outside, it's Jasmine Shavers, and to cap the point there, Brian, 16 rebounds for SMU, 8 of those on the offensive side, but only 5 second chance points.
And Shavers already has 8 points for Texas Tech. She's starting out the quarter with 3, just like she started out the game. Need to keep her involved, and she needs to stay involved the entire quarter.
Robertson unable to draw iron. Score remains tied at 13. Only the second shot of the 9th by Robertson. She hasn't hit either. Fritz handing the ball off to Shavers. Shavers going down the left side of paint, turning around and short. TK Pitts diving on the floor, able to keep control. Robertson over to Z Jones. Team leading 4 points for her in the first 10 minutes. Now Embry likes these looks from up top. Her first points of the night.
Yeah, again, great half-court execution. She's such a weapon because she can score inside, score outside. Easy open look as she knocks it down.
4 3-pointers for Tay in SMU's loss to Florida State. That tied a career high. Double dribble for Bristow. Entering that Florida State game, Coach, Embry was 1 of 11 from 3. Finally seeing that ball fall. Like you mentioned, some confidence now growing in her.
Yeah, you know, she's proven to do it. Last year she shot 40% at the forward position. She's such, again, versatile player. Such a key for this SMU team, and she's played outstanding. She had a tremendous game in the last game against Florida State, and I expect nothing less from her in this one.
Here's Gwynn, left wing, triple try. Unable to hit, and SMU will push the pace. Holding it back now.
And Texas Tech staff was so complimentary of Chantae Embry before the game, just saying she was definitely a good enough player. If she was still with us, she'd be great. We thought she would have been great. We understood that she wanted to leave, but sometimes a new change of scenery can be good for players, and she has been outstanding for SMU really in her entire career here so far.
Walks on the step back. SMU leads by 3. Win over to Fritz, and immediately a couple of defenders descend. Right back and forth.
The 2-3 zone giving some trouble too.
5 seconds on the shot clock, and Bristow finally able to get through a bit of that defense and hit.
Yeah, that time she didn't decide to double dribble or do a little bit extra, but that corner is where she likes to operate. Great job bouncing back from the previous turnover. And here you see the press. This is where Texas Tech wants to be. They kind of make their runs. They get a basket and they put full court press on you for 40 minutes. Does it affect you on every possession? Maybe not, but over the course of a game, they want that attrition of turnovers.
Trying to draw a lot of charges tonight too. Don't get one there. Coach Wilson pointed that out to us, that Texas Tech puts a premium on drawing those offensive fouls by the opponent.
Yeah, she said in all kinds of ways. Off the ball, if you're a screen and roll person, you may not even get the pass, but they still look to take charges. But so far, again, the physicality, the physical paint presence, another offensive rebound for number 9.
Quick look into Kaja Woods. 3 points for her in the matchup with Florida State. She gets her first 2 of this game against Texas Tech.
Yeah, that offensive rebound foul is their 9th offensive rebound, but another earned opportunity that leads to a bucket for SMU.
Shavers puts it to the floor. Back out to Fritz. Now Bristow again loves this angle. Ties the game at 18. Man, she can operate from there.
Yeah, she does well there. Obviously, again, she's getting into a groove. Looked like she really got a steal there. Referee said it goes the other way, but great job getting to the paint by Shavers. Being a playmaker creates the open 3 in the corner. Shavers showing it's not just the points that she's a factor in, but being able to distribute. And Bristow, if she can have that travel back, she may have another point as well.
And coming off a night she'd rather forget in that Stephen F. Austin game, went 0 for 4 from the field, no points, but already has 8 here against the Mustangs. 18 to 18, coming up on 6.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Robertson to Embry off the mark. Another offensive board, and again, no good.
Great pass that time by Robertson to get the ball to Embry, and the hustle plays again. The hustle plays continue. You can just see the heart again of these teams and how much this game means. Laying it all on the floor, laying it all on the line, and good job earning the opportunity by Nia Robertson. Gets the deflection, but first to the floor, you see bodies flying, and another great defense. We've talked about Bristow's offense. Got the wall up, picked up the foul, but Embry, just her relentless effort is what rewarded her with the free throw opportunity.
Embry 1 of 7 shooting so far tonight. 6 rebounds. Season high 22 for her in SMU's last game against the Florida State Seminoles.
On her way to a double-double. She's got 5 and 6 already. But her presence has been really a key that won't show up in the stat sheet because she's been so physical, and those 6 rebounds total have been a big key.
Here's Fritz, top of the key. Wynn working it inside. Bristow, no good from short distance. Gets her own rebound and will have another chance.
Well, the emergence of Bristow is giving them another offensive weapon in this quarter. She's obviously getting going. She's done it from outside. This time a post up, gets the offensive rebound. So much length and skill when you can play outside and in. Similar to what we talked about with Embry. She does it with physicality. Bristow does it with that skill and that length.
Transferring from within the Big 12, played at Iowa State last year. Averaged 5 points and 4 rebounds for the Cyclones.
And what a luxury to have a player of her caliber coming off the bench. They felt like the depth was a big thing for their team in this game. Can they wear this SMU team down, and can their depth be a factor for them to lead to a victory?
Bailey Maupin gets called for the foul as SMU brings the ball up. 20-20. What did we tell you off the top?
Don't let the records fool you.
Evenly matched teams.
No doubt.
Trying to break the tie from the outside. Misfires. TK Pitts trying to bring that one back to the Mustangs, but draws a whistle.
Good open look, though. Those are the type of looks you want, and that's what happens when you can break a press. You can get high percentage shots if you don't turn it over because of the advantage situation you have. A little ISO here for Shavers.
And Shavers creates a little bit of distance. Can't connect. Pitts right in front of Coach Gerlich, gets back to near the logo. Now Robertson trying to find a seam, but a travel called.
Great job closing the gap by Bristow. We talked, again, a lot about her in this quarter, but that play won't show up on the stat sheet, but great job clogging the middle to make it hard for Robertson.
Maupin setting up the offense. See the turnover numbers as SMU now has given it away 7 times compared to 4 by the Lady Raiders. Texas Tech back out in front.
Yeah, Bristow officially cooking. This is her quarter. Great mid-range there. She's showing the full arsenal from inside, outside, and out of mid-range.
Regaining the lead with under 5 to go in the second quarter. Pitts trying to work it into Embry, does on the bounce, and on the spin, knocked free. Hall has to fire it up, didn't see the shot clock. Didn't reset there, Brian.
I don't want to be a broken record, but Bristow with another defensive stop. It is the Bristow show right now in Moody Coliseum here in Dallas.
Wilson said that one difference from last season to this season, now playing in the ACC, is that every mistake matters at this level. She said if you make one mistake, you will get beat, even if it comes to not switching when you're supposed to, not rotating, not having the right ball screen coverage. Every moment matters. And she said while these new conference growing pains are happening, the Mustangs are learning pretty fast that in order to win, they need to strive for perfection. But Brian, are there any small mistakes you've seen so far in this really close game?
Well, I think the mistakes you'd want to get back is the 8 turnovers, for example. Can't turn the ball over at that rate. I think the other part was Bristow doing so well in this quarter, just making the adjustment. If somebody has a hot hand, we want to be able to shut that off a little bit. But all in all, there's going to be some mistakes that happen in the game. Just want to minimize them.
Peterson gets called for the charge, going back the other direction for the Lady Raiders.
I mean, the homecoming for Mrs. Holiday, Texas. Now she takes a charge. She's closed the gap. She's got a deflection for a steal. Now she takes a charge. She has 12 points. She is literally taking her team to another level in this quarter.
This is something Coach Wilson touched on with us, that the Red Raiders are going to take a lot of charges. SMU needs to stay poised. Tech's goal is to draw 6 or 7 of those every night. 2-point Texas Tech advantage. Back outside, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Got to move towards the bucket. Wynn turns around and hits at the buzzer.
Great pace in possession. Good job by SMU. Just got to close that possession, but good job by Texas Tech as well, finishing out with a bucket.
How about that full court press from Texas Tech, forcing the jump ball, and it's Lady Raider possession.
They've really done a good job in this quarter. They're +5, and the momentum shifting their way as they're getting the stops, they're getting the charges. Now the press is starting to affect. Can they keep going on a run here as they've been on a 6-0 run the last 2.5 minutes?
Bristow backing her defender down. We'll stay with Texas Tech. SMU has given it away 4 times in the last 3 minutes.
The interesting thing early on, SMU had about 5 more shots in that first quarter because of offensive rebounds. Now Texas Tech +2 because of their forced turnovers.
Shavers feeding Wynn off the back of the iron. Bristow. Second chance opportunity for Texas Tech.
Haven't heard that name much tonight. She's been the player of the game so far.
Here's Maupin. Back out to Bristow. Inside to Sinogo. The junior from France. France is in Europe, and tonight she's balling in Dallas.
Yes, she is. Took advantage of the height advantage that time. Playing small ball right now with Chantae Embry at the 5. Playing a little undersized. Great kind of step through, pivot up and under.
We're not talking about Paris, Texas. Coming from overseas. Here to Big D. Embry. Knocked out of bounds.
I love how physical and how hard Embry's playing. I just hope for her she can settle into the game a little bit and finish some of those plays, because she is at the range that she wants to be at. She's now at 9 rebounds, 6 offensive. Her heart is definitely being put on display. Just want to get a couple of those breaks to go her way so she can settle into the game and maybe not press so much on some of those finishes.
An 8-0 run by Texas Tech has turned into a 6-point lead for the Lady Raiders. Shavers will look to add to it. Back out to Fritz.
Patient possessions by Texas Tech, taking their time all the way to the end of the shot clock. Refuses the ball screen, draws the foul. Beautiful offense by the Red Raiders. Yeah, here you see refusing the ball screen. It's an empty side, meaning no one in the corner. A blow by, and the help had to be drawn. Good double clutch there. Haven't shot a lot of free throws today in this game. Just 3 attempts so far, but a big possession as they want to keep momentum going for their run. Now on an 8-0 run and getting to the line to get some easy shots that are undefended. Another Texas product too.
Yep, Bailey Maupin. Maupin had to leave town to eclipse 900 career points. Did it against Missouri State with 14 in St. Thomas as part of the Paradise Jam tournament.
I did a lot of recruiting in Texas during my time in college basketball. I don't know where Groover, Texas is. Can you tell me where that is? You know where that is? You got a map? What you got?
Afraid not. You're gonna have to Google that one.
Holiday, Texas, Groover, Texas. We got some grooving going on out here. I like it.
You had to stump me, Coach. Robertson has it blocked, but SMU still has the ball. Down low and back out to Z. Z for 3.
I mean, she's just been so big for this team this season. What a great acquisition in the transfer portal. Started at Villanova, as you mentioned. Graduate, student. So excited about playing on the Hilltop, and her offensive explosion, especially without having Ella Brow in, and she's out with an injury. She's played even bigger for this team, Jones has.
Shavers gets it back. Minute to go in the quarter. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Off the mark to the right.
Shavers was good enough. I think she didn't have to call for that ball screen. She had enough space to isolate without it.
Robertson spotting up. A little too much on that one. 45 seconds to go in the opening half. Active hands for SMU Mustang basketball.
Yeah, they get a break on that one. Good job deflections to Navia Hall. She's been getting more and more minutes in the rotation. Does a lot of the dirty work for this SMU team. Kind of plays small ball 4, plays the guard position. Good deflection that possession.
5-point Texas Tech lead. SMU will try to trim that on this trip down the floor. A tick over 38 seconds remaining in the second. Zanai Jones working her way across the midcourt line. 8 seconds separating the game clock from the shot clock. Jones pushes it back outside. Driving down and finding an open Embry.
Beautiful pass, great drive. Just talked about Hall doing all the little things. What a big time play for a much needed dime. to Chantae Embry for the easy layup.
6 seconds left in the quarter, and the whistle comes against Magaliko.
Unfortunately for SMU, the hustle, a little bit too much contact. Now it puts Texas Tech on the line before the half.
And this is a Lady Raider team that had gone a bit cold over the last 2.5 minutes, and now you give them an opportunity to score. Stopped.
Yeah, and SMU has unfortunately been cold this quarter. Hasn't been able to get double figures. Big basket the last possession. Can they get one more field goal to go if this ball goes in, or can they get a rebound and push in transition?
Freelon able to knock down both of her freebies. Facing the full court press. Lady Raiders do this all night long. Jones, 4 seconds left. 2. Jones trying to get a shot up and passes it away to Hall. And the buzzer sounds before the attempt. Texas Tech will head to the locker room with getting some non-conference tune-ups before getting back into ACC play in a few weeks. They'll see the Stanford Cardinal and the Cal Golden Bears when conference play resumes. First, it's this one against Texas Tech, UNT, Chicago State on the schedule, and SMU gives the ball up on their first trip down the floor.
Texas Tech continuing to be gritty on the defensive side of the ball. Changing up, that time was a trap that forced a turnover. Not a takeaway, but still getting a stop and a turnover. And you mentioned the 10 at the half, and Coach Wilson talked about it. They only had 10 in the game the last game out. So to have 10 and a half, just 10 less shots you're getting an opportunity to have.
Texas Tech will inbound with Jada Wynn. She has 4 points through the first 20 minutes. Colorado transfer. Now Sanogo trying to get it inside, knocked away by an aggressive Robertson, who gets whistled. Maupin will inbound from underneath the Lady Raider hoop.
Little flex action out of the baseline, out of bounds, trying to get a post up or a down screen.
Here's Maupin working against Robertson into traffic, getting it back outside. Returning to the painted area, it's Wynn. Shavers, a little too strong, but aggressive by Wynn to try to get the ball back for the Lady Raiders. It'll be Mustang basketball.
Yeah, both teams get a defensive identity, setting the tone coming out of the half. Again, this has been about the game of little runs, and can SMU get a groove offensively to start getting some of those easy baskets and playing with even more swagger.
Z Jones trying to pick up where she left off the mark, rattles out, gets the ball right back. Embry pulls down, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Jones stops and pops.
Good job in the ball screen, being patient, didn't have the shot they wanted at first. Good job again, refusing the ball screen. Tough pull-up jumper by Jones.
Cutting the deficit to 3 points. Hits with the board after the miss by Wynn. Firing, it's Robertson. Doesn't draw anything. Ball back to Texas Tech.
Yeah, SMU has not been able to score in transition yet in this game, which is a little surprising because that's a big part of how they like to score, how they wanted to be able to score in this game. To me, some of that is attacking the rim. We saw Pitts do it early and got to the foul line. They need to look to do a little more of that in the transition opportunities they get.
Maupin. Back outside, wing, triple try coming from Shavers. Short, and Robertson will get it up to Pitts for 2. Mustangs within 1.
Hey, just like we just talked about, getting some of those easy layups, those stops, letting them run. That's what the Mustangs, again, have done so well this season. Great job getting back to their identity. Can they string together multiple possessions like that? Great pick and roll, nice layup.
Sanogo finds some open space. 4 points for the junior from Paris, France. 3-point Texas Tech advantage. Chantae Embry.
Yeah, as much as both these teams like to play fast tempo and up and down, it has really become more of a half-court game. Here you see the defensive rebound. Great job getting out and running. The deep outlet is what had a lot to do with that. And TK Pitts running the floor. Another one of those players has just grown up in this program, been here since her freshman season, and now a starter in this program. Does all the little things to help this team win.
SMU getting it over to Pitts. Pitts walked with it, though, an inordinate amount of travels tonight. Crossing the timeline, it's Maupin. Take a look at the turnover numbers now. 7 more for SMU. Texas Tech converts the latest one into points.
Yeah, design zipper screen to get Shavers that isolation drive, and TK a little bit too close. Shavers hasn't made the three-point shot great today, so give her a little more space knowing she wants to drive right. Great job by Shavers, though, executing in the half court.
Sanogo over to Shavers, the junior from nearby Mesquite. Working against Hall, left hand, no good. Sanogo there for the board. Win at the free throw line, backs it out.
Texas Tech playing with a little more urgency right now. They have the lead. SMU find a way to get a stop. They're getting the offensive rebounds that SMU's been getting most of this game now.
Maupin spots up. Off to the right. SMU basketball. As Maupin has not hit a shot from the field yet. 0 for 3 now. Pitts has 5 points for SMU, trying to end a scoring drought that's lasted over 2 minutes. Jones leading scorer with 9. Over to Hall. On to Jones again. 5 seconds on the shot clock. SMU needs to work towards the bucket. They do with Z. Z fading away. Couple of players falling to the hardwood. And the foul goes against Pitts. That's her 3rd.
Yeah, we've said this consistently. It's not a matter of is SMU playing hard enough. They are competing. They are giving everything they have. They just haven't quite been able to solve the offensive puzzle to be able to produce the points that they want to produce. And some of it is adjusting in a game where Nia Robertson has not been a factor. She's been on the bench more than she has been in the game, or just as much. And they're trying to find answers to score without her on the floor. And Chantae Embry, second leading scorer, hasn't had the most efficient night. So SMU relying on their defense a little more. And not that time as Shavers knifes through for another layup.
Hot knife through butter for the Red Raiders. A 7-point advantage for Texas Tech. Trying to get the 2 back. They go to Peterson down low.
Love the energy that Hall is playing with. The Plano East product with the second drive dime to one of her bigs. She has been a spark off the bench and playing a lot of those minutes that Robertson is not playing, and you can see why Coach Wilson is gaining more and more trust in the sophomore.
Bristow. A loud shot clock countdown from the Red Raider faithful. Thrown away. It'll be Mustang basketball when we return. Lady Raiders looking for their first win on the road this season. Their first
16 times in scoring last season. Scoring is not the issue. It's like Coach said to us, the shot selection, as Bree mentioned, the maturity their coach has celebrated, how much he's also putting it on the line on the defensive side of the ball, and she's just getting more and more confident.
15.4 points per game for Shavers. That puts her 9th in the Big 12. Here's Peterson in the painted area, rolls away. Second chance opportunity, draws a whistle. Clarify what I just said a moment ago, Coach. This is the first true road game for Texas Tech. They've had tests away from Lubbock, but those were in Paradise in the U.S. Virgin Islands, but that's nothing like facing a hostile crowd here in Dallas. Plenty of Red Raider faithful, though, trying to make it a little less hostile.
Yes, absolutely. And Paradise doesn't feel like a road game at any point in time, but those will be considered neutral site games. This is a true road game, and Peterson, we've talked a lot about her for SMU and what she's meant. Her being in this half will be huge if she can stay out of foul trouble, because she is the anchor in the middle that does so much for this club. Already with 4 points in this half.
Texas Tech leads by 3. Bristow looking for her first points of the second half. Gets it back out to Fritz. Fritz back to Bristow, now down low. Working against Peterson. No good, off to the right side for Maya Pete. Her first shot of the night.
This is part of what Coach talked about. Shavers picking up defense full court. Good offensive possessions are a big part of the end of this quarter. Can SMU close this gap a little bit more and keep the points going? Can Texas Tech keep getting stops?
3 minutes left in the third. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Got to get one up quickly. They do. Rolls out. Woods couldn't find the handle.
I'm really impressed with, again, the progression of this club for SMU and the depth. I mean, you wouldn't have had a time early in the game or early in the season where Hall, Woods, and Marshall in the game at the same time when you're down 3. It says a lot about how coaches continue to, and how these young ladies are continuing to improve.
Pete, the grad student from Chandler, Arizona, unsuccessful. 0 for 2 now down low. Z Jones, quick pass to Peterson.
Peterson is the reason why Pete missed the last 2 shots on defense. We talked about how important she is. Now 6 points. Great drive by Jones. We mentioned at halftime, her shot creation for herself and others so important.
Pete, successful on her 3rd attempt after missing the first 2. Stretches the Texas Tech lead back 3 points.
Yeah, and how about Texas Tech going to a 3rd time, making an effort to get the ball in the paint.
2 minutes left. Peterson working against Pete. Beats her on the step.
Little face up, showing a little razzle dazzle. She said, I'm not just back to the basket, I got guard skills too. Nice job with a good move inside, number 35.
Mustangs within 1. Texas Tech led by as much as 8. And SMU can regain the advantage.
Yeah, what a great game. 2 evenly matched teams, as we mentioned, and we are seeing quite a display.
Jones can't give the Mustangs the lead again.
Not the prettiest game, but this is the type of games that conference basketball, these 2 teams are going to see, where you have to be able to execute in the half court and handle the other team's runs.
Fritz with some spacing off to the left. Bristow unable to bring down the rebound. Mustang ball. Mass changes for Texas Tech.
Well, this is the kind of defensive quarter that Coach Wilson wants. Texas Tech only scored 10 in the first, was able to break out and get double that, get 20 in the second, but now they only have 8. And then a consistent scoring by SMU, 13, 12, and 12. If they can get a couple more possessions and somehow get a lead going into the fourth, I think they feel even more confident. Nia Robertson, their leading scorer, checks back into the game.
Robertson 0 for 6 tonight. No points. For a student athlete is ranked 3rd in the ACC in scoring.
She has big game ability. She can break out at any time. At that time, the takeaway again by Texas Tech. But the hustle back by Robertson forces the miss, and now the Mustangs run the other way.
Jones trying to save it. Can't do so. Ball back to Tech.
Those are the ones you just want back. Those are the mistakes that Bree kind of mentioned earlier that Coach Wilson said you can't have those kind of mistakes. That's an easy layup that's now turnover because it's just an uncareful pass.
Under 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Texas Tech leads by 1. Maupin brings it back down and gives it to Merritt. Merritt one-on-one against Hall. Freelon. 3 seconds on the shot clock for Freelon. Rolls in.
What a finish. Impressive finish, falling out of bounds. That's definitely worth a potential SportsCenter top play type nominee.
First made basket by Freelon. 4 points. Her first 2 came at the line. And the Mustangs will let the final seconds expire. Fritz trying to get one last shot off on the turnover, but it's no good. And Texas Tech leads by 3 as we head to the final 10 minutes.
Mentioned with those injuries and just shorter numbers, this year's team has more depth. This is a power conference team. They played Florida State. They go to Arkansas. She wanted those kind of tests to get this team ready for a really talented Big 12.
4th quarter underway in Dallas. Chris Mykowski, Brian Burton, and Bree Sorensen with you on ACC Network for this old-fashioned Southwest Conference battle between Texas Tech and SMU. And the Lady Raiders give it away. As far as the turnover battle is concerned, though, Brian, SMU only gave it away 10 times against Florida State through 3 quarters, 16 turnovers. While Texas Tech had 23 giveaways in their last game against Stephen F. Austin, only 7 tonight.
Yeah, it's a big reason why they've been able to be up 3, given the fact they've been out-rebounded by 16 by SMU. Good job defensively by SMU, and same with Texas Tech. Both teams forcing turnovers to start the 4th.
And Freelon gets her a hand in there. Now Maupin from distance.
A huge shot that has been needed. They've only made 4 threes in this game. Got a great open look, knocks it down.
Down low, Peterson on the feed.
Yeah, just love the way Peterson continues to grow in this program. 9 rebounds, 11 points in 21 minutes. Here you see transition, the ball movement. Great job playing together, finding your shooter. The bench loves it. They're standing up. Knew that was one they needed to go down. Meanwhile, that was guard passing to guard. This is big passing to big. Chantae Embry feeding it inside to Peterson, who has had an outstanding second half.
11 points, 9 boards for Peterson. 4 double-doubles on the year. Seems inevitable that she will have her 5th this evening.
Yeah, just recommitted herself. Was injured last season, recommitted herself mentally and getting in even better shape, and has accepted every challenge that Coach continues to put on her, and really wanted to step up this season. A transfer from Fresno State, who's now been here for her 3rd season.
Merritt backing down. Peterson doesn't go. Whistle against the Lady Raiders.
Yeah, can't say enough about what 35 has done on the defensive side of the ball. It's a totally different game with her in the game, just contesting shots, so relentless on the glass. She is definitely the X factor for this SMU Mustangs team.
Peterson in the painted area, draws a whistle against Texas Tech. SMU will inbound with Jones underneath the Mustang hoop. Embry spins and hits off the side of the backboard.
Might have been blocked on the way up. The length has been challenging. Good job by Merritt on that defensive possession.
From long range off the back of the iron for Fritz. Tay bringing down the rebound. SMU trailing by 5, under 8 minutes to go in regulation. Pitts looking at her options. Jones on to Pitts again, and Pitts whistle away from the basketball. Goes against the Lady Raiders.
Embry again being that force inside, demanding the ball. Got blocked in possession before. Doesn't stop her. Great job getting position and forcing that defensive foul.
Trying to get her first points of the night. Robertson does. She had gone 0 for 6 from the field up until that point.
You can't keep a score like that down too long.
Averaging 21 points per game, ranked 3rd in the ACC, held scoreless until now. Jones with 7 assists, tying her season high. Now Moppin from long range, rattles off the rim, a board down low by Freeline. And again, Texas Tech gets it back. Whistle against SMU.
Texas Tech doesn't have as many offensive rebounds as SMU does, but that is now their 11th offensive rebounds themselves. So they haven't been great on the defensive glass, but offensive glass have done a very good job.
SMU #1 in the ACC in offensive rebounding, leading that battle 16-11 this evening. Win against Robertson. Now Merritt. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Win. Trying to find anything off the front of the iron. Scrambling for the ball down low. Jump ball will go SMU's direction.
Yeah, both teams have really been getting it done defensively as they held their opponent under 35% both ways. It has been a struggle to find points, but both teams defensive, you can tell their game plan. They've been locked in. Points are hard to come by in this game, so every single possession matters.
Especially difficult for Texas Tech in this quarter. Scoring drought is now over 2.5 minutes. Pitts, quick pass to Embry, off the glass and in. Mustangs within 1.
Yeah, we mentioned it with Robertson. Only a matter of time for Embry too. She continues to fight for possession and positions inside. That is what is impressive about, again, her kind of warrior spirit being on display right now.
Shavers back outside. Texas Tech taking its time on offense, deliberate. 5 seconds on the shot clock as Shavers fires and hits. 15 points for her.
Well, if there was somebody you needed to make a big shot, it would be your leading scorer. The big dog coming home. The Skeet Horn product has a big family and friend following in the stands. Big shot at the end of possession.
Embry, Texas Tech fans thought she walked to the top of the key. Instead, she charges into Freeline.
Yeah, that's a travel they've been calling a lot today. She did it a little faster than normal, so she may have got away with it, but good job again by Texas Tech. Whether you like it or not, they continue to go for those. And she was set, she was in position. Those can be 50-50 calls, but that one, tip your hat to Texas Tech, put themselves in position.
And the Lady Raider lead remains at 4 points. Embry able to pick it off.
Yep, like the competitor she is. She's like, I'll get it back, team. Don't worry about it. 2-possession game here.
Robertson driving high off the glass. That's the scoring threat they know and love in Dallas.
Yeah, she's so good when she gets ahead of steam. When she has space and the ball, you see her getting ahead of steam right there. She is so hard to stop, so fast, takes the contact, shows off her skill, gets to the foul line as well. To be able to see this ball go in, if she can connect on this one, not only does it put her team 1 point closer, but it also gets her to get even more confident in her outside shooting.
SMU has cut the deficit to a single point. 5 minutes left in regulation.
Yeah, and the zone late right now in this fourth quarter has been good to them.
Bristow travels. SMU continues to fight on the hilltop. It has been a long time since they've beaten the Lady Raiders, 2006 to be exact.
Get a game against Chicago State before the holidays and then ACC play. This team talked about how they felt like they really shocked and put teams on notice that they are on the way in the conference in the ACC in that Florida State game. This will be a huge win to get their confidence going. They've been close, they've competed, they've shown some brilliance flashes. When they figure out a way to close out one, to know that they can do it.
Pitts driving to the lane around Bristow, and the Mustangs are in front.
Have only led for 8 minutes and 40 seconds in this game. Been a long time since they've had a lead, and a big basket there by Pitts.
Pitts and Freelon battling for the basketball. Timeout. SMU 1 point pony lead.
In their last 4 field goals, they're getting assists, getting downhill, getting to the foul line, as Coach Wilson said the halftime adjustments needed to be, and the points in the paint have been a part of the story, and the defense continues to hold. They gave up 20 in the second quarter, Chris. They've only given up 16 here in the second half, and the Mustangs are starting to play some of their best ball of this game.
And the paint points, SMU with a 2-point advantage there, 20-18. And a 1 point lead on the scoreboard. Ball knocked away. It was a Texas Tech timeout, so the Lady Raiders kept possession, but a turnover. Mustang ball up by 1.
Texas Tech hasn't turned the ball over much in this game, but in this quarter, they've got 3 or 4 in particular. There you see SMU trying to get back to the paint. Another offensive rebound.
Embry trying to clean it up, had it knocked away by Merritt. Now Robertson from distance. Feeling it now.
2 offensive rebounds on that possession led to that. 1 by Embry, 1 by Peterson. The kick out, and we mentioned Robertson got that and 1 earlier, saw the free throw go in. Now the stroke feels even more confident, but you continue to see the blue collar from the team, this grit, the unselfishness. Career high assists for Miss Jones. She did with points the last 2 games, Chris. This time doing it with assists, with her 8th assists of the game. No turnovers as well. I mean, you talk about a big-time addition to this team. Miss Jones has proven to be an all-around floor leader. Her offensive confidence, we featured her in the open, and now the assists also being a big part of it. Almost a double-double with points and assists.
A review now for the severity of that last foul, and we hadn't addressed the fact, Coach, that Ella Brow is out.
Yep.
Day-to-day, not yet feeling 100p, so Z has to be more of a playmaker, and she's doing it in spades.
I love that 100p, by the way. You snuck that in like as if it was like regular communications. I like that. I like that. 100% for those at home that don't know what that means. But yes, Miss Jones, and doing it, again, it's not that she hasn't played big conference basketball. She played in the Big East. It's not that she isn't capable, but she hasn't done this kind of play in her career yet. That's part of why she wanted to come here to the Hilltop and play for Coach Wilson. And boy, is she doing it at the right time when they need it most.
All I can say, Coach, I'm in the zone with some new language tonight.
Swaggin'.
4-point SMU lead. We'll see what the call is from our crew. That's Joseph Vasily, Cameron Enaway, and Safe Esho.
Looks like dead ball on the end line. Yep, no foul on the play, and it's physical. Tell you what, the relentless effort, you can't say it enough. The way they're leading on the glass says everything about their effort. 43-25, plus 18 for the Mustangs. Finally starting to pay off as some shots are starting to fall. And if you're Texas Tech, who can help you in this drought? Haven't scored in the last 2 minutes. The zone is really giving them some trouble. Have not been able to find the looks that they want. And that scoring drought continues. SMU on a 13-3 run. Let's see what they do here, Chris.
Embry with it at the top of the key. Her Mustangs leading by 4. 3 minutes left in the final quarter. Z can't add to it. Hits there. Off to the left. Gets the rebound off from the floor. Timeout called by Coach Wilson on the SMU bench.
I mean, it's hard to win a game when the other team is getting rebounds on the floor, and they're already up 20 now on the glass, 21. I mean, just offensive rebound after offensive rebound, just again, is showing the resiliency, the heart, the urgency. They haven't won one of these games yet, and they really want it at home. Meanwhile, Texas Tech has led majority of this game. See how they respond in this next 3 minutes.
Big matchup coming up tomorrow on ESPN. It's number 2 UConn, number 8 Notre Dame. What a great early season test for both. The Shamrock Classic on ESPN and the ESPN app. Coverage begins 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Both of those teams with dreams of reaching Tampa and the women's Final Four.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. I would pick both of those teams right now to go to Tampa. Either one of those teams have national championship ability, great guard play, elite coaches. A lot of fun that matchup will be. Kind of like this one, coming down to the wire.
Coming out of the SMU timeout. Here's Pitts. Over to Peterson. Off to the right. Embry brings down the board, continuing to dominate on the offensive glass, but can't hit. Texas Tech will run. Maupin knocks it down.
I mean, you talk about a huge basket, and what a big-time play by their leading scorer to give it up and not think you have to do it on your own. That's the maturity Coach Gurley's talked about.
Robertson driving on that left side with the right hand.
So fast, and when you give her an empty side like that, again, another refusal, rejection of the ball screen. Easy, easy bucket for number 3.
3-point SMU lead.
Baskets have been hard to come by. This is what's going to be a challenge for Texas Tech this season. How do you close games in close situations like this? Who are you going to? What plays are you going to? Who's making big shots?
Maupin well beyond the arc with a kiss.
Question answered. She said, I'm here for it. Back-to-back tray balls. Boy, is this an exciting finish to be.
52-52, 1:20 to go. Jones getting trapped. Peterson, back to Z. Jones takes it herself to the rack. Peterson with the board and the bucket. Mustangs lead by 2.
Right on time. Guess who? As if the scouting report didn't say you had to box out one of the leading rebounders in the country. Another offensive rebound putback. Now 14 and 11 for Peterson.
How about feeling it from outside? It's Bailey Maupin.
Yeah, Maupin getting it done. Averaging 11 points a game. She couldn't have made 2 bigger baskets at a bigger time. So needed, so timely. 3 of 6 from the arc, 2 of those coming in the last few possessions.
And now 9 of 11 games this season, scoring in double figures. Also Texas Tech's assist leader, but only a couple of dishes tonight. We've seen Wynn and Bristow with 3 assists apiece to lead the way for the Lady Raiders.
Yeah, players that have grown up in this program, have been in these moments before. They're ready to be on the other side of it as well. As yes, they have wins on the season, but they want a power conference win. Neither one of these teams has gotten one just yet from another power conference opponent, and it'll come down to this last minute.
1 minute left on the hilltop. Mustangs lead by 2. Shavers for the lead. Rims out. Offensive board pulled down by the Lady Raiders. Whistle away from the ball on Robertson. That's 4 on her.
Looks like coach will call another timeout. Wants to talk it over, knows how important it is as you got 20 seconds on the game shot clock, 40 seconds on the game clock.
30 called by Texas Tech and Krista Gerlich. On the other side, Toyelle Wilson with her holly jolly Christmas sweater here on Hoops for the Holiday inside Moody Coliseum. She will be holly and jolly if the Mustangs can hold on.
There ain't no doubt about that. She was trying to forecast what she wanted to feel after the game. Big possessions here both ways. Bristow on the bench, so the second leading scorer in this game, not playing for Texas Tech at the moment. The last couple baskets have come from Maupin from 3. Shavers leads the team in scoring with 15. Who do they draw the play up for to get this next bucket, and can they get another offensive rebound? Nice play.
Knocked away by Pitts.
What a block by Pitts. The recovery.
And Robertson will head to the free throw line. Mustangs leading by 2 following the biggest play of the night, this block from Pitts.
Yeah, that's excitement both ways. Great play by Coach Gerlich, but even greater play by TK Pitts. Again, I just can't speak enough about the effort that this team is playing with, and it's so many of the players that you may not expect to make a big play like that. It may not be the one to celebrate it, but that block was the play of the game, as you mentioned so far.
Certainly celebrating the effort Pitts has put in on defense all year long. Ranked 10th in the ACC in steals. Comes away with a block down in the painted area to keep the Mustangs ahead. It's now a 4-point lead for SMU.
And their highest scoring quarter of the game so far. 19 now in this quarter, and they have broken away. Again, it's just been a relentless energy and effort. You can tell they've gotten more and more confident in game situations, playing on the road against Missouri, playing on the road at Florida State, and they are now coming home to be able to get it done if they can finish out this this quarter. Meanwhile, Texas Tech, they got the shot last time that they wanted. Great defense. Can they now get the shot, get a bucket, and get a stop, and kind of keep this game going?
Latest 2 points at the free throw line from Robertson put her at 12. This after she was scoreless in the opening half. Somebody that SMU depends on to put buckets up. 13th in the nation with 21 points per game. On pace to be the first Mustang in a decade to average 20 or more.
Texas Tech, meanwhile, is not in the bonus, so any foul does not equal free throws. You're 2 fouls away, so you're going to probably have to score a field goal or draw an actual shooting foul on this possession. SMU's been good in the zone, but they've also been good in man with, again, this relentless energy. You can tell this team is really maturing as the season goes on.
Points, SMU lead. Texas Tech ball in front of the Lady Raider bench. Right back to Maupin. To the outside. Missing. Second chance opportunity for Maupin. Off the mark as well. Peterson brings down the board. Timeout, Ponies.
They got the shot you wanted, got the offensive rebound to get another shot, but SMU comes away with the stop and holding this Texas Tech team to just 31% this half, 28% this quarter. Here you see it, the handoff, gets the kick to one of your top shooters, then gets the rebound. Maybe could have powered through and gotten a foul, but good job by SMU finding a way to get the stop, Chris. And this half, 46% offensively. Their field goal percentage, their efficiency's gotten so much better, and they've really got it done, clamping down on the defensive side of the ball.
And looking at that Florida State game, Coach, it was really one quarter where SMU let it get away. That third. They had that tonight in the second with Texas Tech, but able to overcome, and with 25 seconds left, staring a win in the face.
Well, I love the interview Coach did with Bree, and Coach talked about the adjustments, and everything she said in that adjustment from halftime is exactly what they're doing in this half. So that says a lot about the buy-in from this group to believe in their head coach, who's been a lot in these power conference situations, has won at the highest level, has advanced in the NCAA tournament, and now she is teaching her young ball club what does it mean to play ball at the highest level of college basketball.
This would be a signature win for SMU. 2006, the last time the Mustangs beat the Lady Raiders. Robertson gets it and hit. Goes down to the floor. Will have to earn it at the free throw line.
And look at this young lady, too. I mean, as much as she is scoring points, right? Maybe it wasn't her game. Maybe it wasn't her first half. Maybe Coach was making a point defensively or efficiency-wise. She wasn't doing some of the things that Coach wanted. But to her credit, she has been huge in the second half. She has not had an attitude or pouted or anything like that. She said, all right, Coach, I got what you're saying, and I'm going to apply that in the second half. And she's done just that. And it couldn't have come at a bigger moment because her points is a big reason why this game looks like it could finish in a victory. 13 points in the game, now 14.
85% from the line this season, 5 for 5 this evening.
All 14 in the second half. She was 0 of 6 for the first half of the game. And again, that shows a maturity in her too. This is a new program for her. She's a new recruit. She hasn't played at this level. She played at George Washington, again, coming back home to Texas. But that just shows, hey, Coach, I'm allowing you to coach me hard. I'm bought into what we're doing, and I just want to win. I came here to win, not just to score points. So credit to that young lady as well.
She did well at GW, an all-A10 selection, ranked 4th in the conference last year with over 16 points per game. You talked about it. This is different. Playing in the ACC, playing another power conference foe tonight, and in these final 20 minutes, she has stepped up. And after that start, remarkable to see that she is tied for the team lead with 14 points alongside Peterson.
Well, it's not even just a point. She's done a good job defensively. She's made big plays. She's dived on the floor. She's hustled. She's sprinted back in transition. She has a key assist in this game. So, again, credit to Robertson stepping up when it matters. And let's see if Texas Tech can get one last heroic effort as they get fouled on a 3.
And that will end Robertson's night. Her 5th.
And that, again, probably some of the reasons she didn't play is some of that foul trouble. I don't know that there was a lot of contact here, but it gives Texas Tech more life. Give Coach Gurley credit and her staff. Drawing up a play, getting a shooter an opportunity with the fade screen. She had a diagonal on her. I don't know if she hit contact, but she wasn't exactly straight up at the time of the shot. Big free throws for number 8.
Blacklock, up until that, had been held scoreless tonight. This is somebody who has been in double figures 3 times this season. And 5 for SMU. One more chance for Blacklock.
Look at the offensive rebound here. They like to X on the free throws. 2-possession game.
4-point difference. Timeout on the floor. Texas Tech unable to hit from the field on their last 4 attempts, but do get a couple of free throws to drop on those 3 shots from the line of Blacklock. SMU trying to take some momentum into what will be a week-long break before they go up to North Texas on December 19th. The Super Pit, a very tough place to play. Home of the defending American champion, Mean Green. That's a big test coming up in Denton. Texas Tech, one of the marquee programs in Texas. A huge victory this would be for SMU. Mustangs looking to assert themselves as one of the new powers in the state of Texas.
I think if you were talking to Coach Wilson, yes, we want to be a power, but we just want to win some power conference games first so we can crawl before we walk. But this would be a monumental just step before you get into a grueling ACC season. You go on the road next to play the defending American Conference champs down the street at North Texas. Every game in college basketball is so hard to win, but one game can really help your momentum and your confidence, and this would be a huge one for this team.
SMU up 59-54. Blacklock turns around and misses. Pitts pulls down the board, walks with it. It'll stay with Texas Tech. 12.2 to go.
A lot of time left. Only it's still a 2-possession game, so they've missed that 3. They got fouled on another 3. It's far from over. Texas Tech needs some things to go their way for sure, but still have life.
Got to get a shot off quickly. Back to Blacklock. Nothing but net.
Right on time. You cannot quit on possessions. You have to play the entire game. And then almost a turnover. It is a turnover.
Lady Raiders get it back and can tie the game, but a block from Pitts. Mustangs get the ball back.
TK Pitts, number 2. Here you see the big play. The steal went for the layup, needed a 3, but Pitts walls up, gets another huge block.
And the officials will take a look at this. Originally, the call was ball off of a Raider, Mustang possession. 3 seconds left. They'll slow it down and check again.
Let's talk about TK Pitts' night. 7 points, but not where she makes the most impact. Where she makes the impact, 11 rebounds from the guard position. 1 assist and so many key defensive plays. Can't say enough about this young lady and who she's becoming in her role as guard the other team's best player, rebound at a high level from the guard position, score when your opportunities are there, but make those high energy winning plays, and she absolutely has bought into that role.
2 blocks that have made all the difference tonight for SMU, for Pitts. And if this call stands, SMU would need to inbound and hit free throws.
Out of bounds call is confirmed. SMU ball. The clock will be reset to 3.5. 3.5.
Huge as the Mustangs will have possession.
Yeah, the 50-50 plays over the course of the game have worn down. Mustangs have won on the glass 52-28. And those little possessions like that, that block and those rebounds, again, the things that don't all show up in the stat sheet, but the heart eventually has paid off. Can they get an inbound without turning it over? Can Texas take another steal?
With 3.5 left, SMU does get it in to Jones. These will be her first free throws of the evening. Shooting 82% from the line this year.
You could pick a lot of players in this game for player of the game for SMU, but the player that played the best for the full 40 minutes has been Jones. The 8 assists, no turnovers, the defensive stops, the way she's controlled tempo. If she can make one of these free throws, she'll be in double figures. She's at 9 points, 8 assists so far. Meanwhile, you've had half efforts by a couple of other players for SMU, but she's been misses consistency this game.
3-point lead, no timeouts remaining for Texas Tech.
Do you make the free throw? I would say yes, but if you miss, it's still going to be Texas Tech. Tough for them to get a full court 3-point. Do they have a timeout to advance it? No, they do not.
Jones hits, SMU up 4. Shaver's final shot inconsequential as SMU wins 61-57, the first victory for the Mustangs.